Okay, so the fourth and final band is called Lucid Louie, which was actually formed out of all the members of Akadaka, which is an AC/DC tribute band you play in. So was that more sort of formed as something to keep you occupied on the road, or was it formed as a band?
No, pretty much as soon as I joined that band, that was it. We were writing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it came about just a conversation touring with Akadaka, you decided let's form our own band, or was how did it come out?
Oh, after one of our gigs one night when we were drinking tea and eating scones.
I don't think I was there that night.
Yeah, Jesse and Brad, they'd always be jamming. And and Jesse just mentioned that he had an idea. And then Brad started jamming with him, and we just thought, why don't we go in the studio and record it? So we did.
All right, that's it all.
Yeah, everyone was on board. Daka on drums, he was keen. He's always been in original bands. He hasn't played many covers bands. He prefers original music. We all prefer original music. And just tapping into that, the whole, covers band, original band thing, the arguments and the fights that people have, it's I find it quite childish. I'm not going to be hurting a lot of people's feelings here, but for me personally, it's always been about performing and being on stage. That's my happy place.
Yeah.
I love it. It's my drug, Now, myself, I would rather be on stage playing my own original music. Now, I've always said I can be in front of 1,000 people playing covers and have a great time and love it, get my fix. But if I was playing my own music in front of 2 people, that fix is that little bit stronger. It's my shit they're listening to. They're not walking away and hating it. And if you see one person just nodding their head or tapping their toe, fucking job done. That's it. That's me complete.
You've done that.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. So, for me personally, original music's the way to go. But I've been in covers bands. I play bass in Akadaka tribute. And that's been awesome. Once I finished my FIFO work, it really gave me something to sink my teeth into, and it's pretty hard to start an original band. You've got to gel with people, and people have to like the shit that you're writing, that you bring to the board. And
have to like being on the road with you for 2 or 3 days at a time.
It could be 2 years before you actually get a established band. So stepping into Akadaka gave me something to get my fingers going again, got me on the stage again, getting my fix. And it was just a blessing that all 5 guys in Akadaka play original music, and we just formed Lucid Louie.
That chemistry would have already been there when you went to Louie, so did it make it easy to come up with material, you think?
Absolutely, yeah. Playing on stage, 3 nights a week, you get to know each other's, even though we're playing other people's music, you still get to know the little fills before a mistake, or the twangs before a big chord or something. You just get to learn. It's what music's about. You listen, you learn. So that was awesome. So Lucid Louie released a demo in 2017, I think it was, as a 5-piece, and by 2018 we became a 4-piece.
And just dropped a guitarist, basically.
Yeah.
I didn't drop him, but he exited and decided not to fill the void.
Yeah, he left, and I just said to Jesse and the lads, I said, we really don't need a second guitar. We just have to learn to play as a 3-piece, or 4-piece with a singer. Yeah. And we did. So, and that's it, Lucid Louie. So that's how Louie formed. So that was 2017. So we're a young band. Yeah. We're only 3 years old. So, you know, we've got a few years to go yet before we can even think about, you know, the recognition and the groundswell of fans and stuff like that. So we've you know, getting to that stage now where we need to start
Ramp up
pushing and
machinery.
marketing
Yeah.
and let people know we're there.
One of the reasons when you're a guitarist fact that you didn't need to get another one is because the guitarist you got, Jesse, who also plays Angus in Akadaka, he's a fucking good little guitarist, he's a freak on guitar, but how does that go with the creative process with you two, like from playing the Akadaka and then coming into Louie?
Well, for me it's easy because, you know, I'm a pretty diverse player myself and I can adapt pretty quickly, and Jesse can as well. You knocked it on the head, mate. He's a great guitarist. He's a brilliant little guitarist. He's a pleasure to play with.
I wouldn't go that far and say it's a pleasure to do anything with, but he's a bloody good guitarist.
Yeah. So, our writing sessions, ever since Louie's formed, like we'll get together and hopefully come out with one song in a writing session, and more times than not we'll come out with 3 or 4 songs in a night. Yeah.
So the sort of thing like when you're on the road with Akadaka, do you do any Louie stuff, like do you write any Louie stuff, or do you try and keep 2 bands separate?
I like to keep the 2 bands separate. For me, Akadaka is a job. For that brief moment that I'm there, as soon as they pick me up in
That
the
week
van,
goes on, but it's a job.
it's a job. So as soon as they pick me up in the van, that's it. I'm in Akadaka mode. Everything else is gone. That's it. I'm Cliff Williams in AC/DC for the next 3 or 4 days, or however long it is we're away. And that's how I've always approached Akadaka. I'm paid for a service, and I'm delivering it as best I can.
That's very cool.
So, yeah, the persona, even right down to what you wear. I've got a wig. I wear a wig to try.
I have sprayed it with water. I've seen that wig.
Twice. Sandy. Yeah, so, you know, I leave the home life behind and become this new person for the time that I'm away. So to bring Lucid Louie into it would, as far as I'm concerned, be a little bit of a contradiction, you know. We're not Louie here, guys, we're Akadaka.
Just to clear that up, like, 'cause some people watching or listening to this might say, yeah, but we've seen Lucid Louie support Akadaka before, so he's contradicting himself. But that's sort of been more of just a circumstance thing. Like, we played somewhere and they've said, we've got another support band, and we've done, like, we're not actually looking to use Akadaka to promote Lucid Louie, like, to remain separate.
Yeah, completely separate. So the gigs we have done with Akadaka usually is a test run of new songs. To see how they go down with the crowd. If you don't get a reaction, we need to revisit it, rewrite it, or scrap it. If they like it, it's a keeper.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But yeah, we because we were writing so much, we started doing a few gigs with Akadaka, and then it was more a case of, hang on guys, let's pull the reins here.
So it's would have been hard because it's a ready-made gig for you. You know, we were all together anyway, so you think, why not do it? But if you do want to create that different.
Yeah, but that's when the whole, you know, we're here for Akadaka, not Lucid Louie, so I'd prefer Lucid Louie to be its own entity, its own driving force. Yeah.
And Lucid Louie's vocalist Larry Attard, probably best known for a lot of people for his band Snake, which was around back in the day. So how different is Lucid Louie's music to Snake's music?
Snake was straight up hard rock, hard pub rock. Very, you know, driving, good forceful momentum. Whereas Lucid Louie's a bit more laid back, kind of bluesy rock feel, hard blues, I guess.
Yeah.
Hard rock blues, I'd probably put it in. You know, still driving band and thumping.
Very guitar-driven band too.
Yeah. But it's just not that full bore, pedal to the metal
Yeah.
rock, which is what I think Snake used to be. Yeah.
So tell us about the 3 Lucid Louie songs you've chosen for us and why you've chosen them.
Oh shit, Lucid Louie. It's all right. Okay, so it's all right.
That's your most
Actually, I
recent
really
song
don't
choice,
know
isn't it?
Yeah, Mary's Crying is the latest
Right.
song. This is the one before Mary's Crying. So, it's all right. Wild Bill and
Mean Old Man.
Mean Old Man. Yes.
Written for Larry, wasn't it?
Well, he wrote the words.
Dedication to himself.
Look, I really don't know why I chose them. I guess Wild Bill, I picked that one because that was the first song recorded properly.
Okay.
Like where I had to knuckle down and go, right, this is for release, so I've got to step it up a notch and, cross my T's and dot my I's and make sure everything's sweet and all the rest of it, because, I'm breaking all the fucking rules here, like, an engineer shouldn't mix and you shouldn't mix in the same room that you track and all this sort of shit, so...
Are there rules in music?
Not in mine. if they are, I'm breaking all of them. So Wild Bill, my first release with Lucid Louie as the engineer, mixer, producer. In saying that, all of Lucid Louie are there to produce.
Yeah.
I always make sure Dak is happy with his drums. I make sure Jesse's happy with his guitar and Larry's happy with his voice. So it's not just they put me in there and I just go, here it is, boys.
So right, you give them chest feedback to say, yeah.
We all have the final or say as a group before anything goes out. It's all right because it's probably my favourite song that I've done with them so far, as in a recording. We do have other songs that aren't recorded yet that are fun to play and songs that I like, but It's All Right, it's just a great song. I love it, and the crowd love it. Whenever we play it...
But do the chicks love it?
Oh, of course they do.
It's a keeper.
Standing on my side of the stage, and I love anything.
What have you got? Always hang out on your side of the stage, mate.
Now, Mean Old Man. I've got that in there because that was a riff from the guitarist that left Lucid Louie. Once again, it's a brilliant song. I just don't think that should go unmentioned. Everyone deserves to have a listen to us as a 5-piece.
Because it was a good band as a 5-piece, like it's still great now as a 4-piece, but right, Brad was good on guitar. He helped shape Louie to a way.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So I just thought, I'll chuck that in there, and you can hear us as a 5-piece, and the other 2 songs you can hear us as a 4-piece.
Oh, cool. And Lucid Louie is the first band you've actually done the whole editing, filming. You've done the film clips, you've done them as well. So it's the first band you've actually used this experience in.
Yeah, it's the first band I've been able to just go have free reign on everything, really. I'm a creative person. I love my photography, I love filming, and I love music and recording. So this is the first band where I can put all those 3 together and do it and get it done. Once again, I don't know if you've heard, but not a lot of musicians have a lot of money. And, so to get pros in to do all this and the filming and all the rest of it, cost thousands of dollars, So I thought, well, fuck, I can do it. Let's just give me free range and let me see how I do, and if you like it, we'll keep going, but if you don't, we'll put thousands of dollars in and we'll get someone else to do it. But so far it's a thumbs up from everyone, so I continue to do it.
So from this side of things, like playing in the band and then like recording them and doing all that sort of stuff, they're obviously very different things. But what do you get out of one that you don't the other? Like, is it all a musical feeling, or is it?
I get. It's just satisfaction. I mean, I just like when you hear your song for the first time on the radio. That night when I was setting my alarm clock, that was just fucking absolute buzz, you know. So if one day one of these film clips I see on MTV or one of the streaming channels, like that'll just be an absolute buzz, you know. Yeah, so I guess that's why we all do it. We just want that. It's the same buzz you get when you're playing in front of
It is the same buzz.
a crowd, you know. It's like fuck yeah, and because you know that it's not only you listening to it at this time, there's fucking the whole world listening to it, you know.
The whole world's judging you as well.
I'm used to that. Yeah, I don't care being judged, mate. As soon as you walk on stage, you're being judged. It's just second nature, mate. You know, some people take it well, some people don't. But all criticism's good criticism. If you can't learn from bad criticism, well, you're in the wrong industry.
I'm going to hand in my letter of resignation then. So we'll go back full circle now to the earlier question about the album being called The Band Years. So what we've just spoken about obviously focuses on that period of your life when you're in bands. But from now you're going to start, or not from now, but the next 12 months you're going to focus on the rest of your musical career, which is your solo career. So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, around 2012 was when I first plugged the guitar into a computer and realised you can record. I'm like, wow. Okay. So since then, I've written a whole, like, fucking catalogue of songs. Yeah, so during my Firefly work, around the 2014 mark, I think it was, I built my own little studio in my backyard in the shed. It was horrible. It was a horrible sounding room. I don't know what I was thinking, but it was mine, and I built it, and I loved it, and I loved being in there. So pretty much the whole time I was back on my R&R, which I'd be away for a month, and I'd be back for 1 week. I was in that room. I didn't leave it. Just writing, recording. Unfortunately, I was drunk for about 90% of the time. So there's a lot of stuff there that I will listen back and I just go, oh fuck, what the hell? But over the years, like I lost that studio in 2016, I think it was. I only had it for a few years. Yeah, so I lost that studio, and then I was back to just a computer, monitors and plugins. Yeah, so that hurt for a little bit. Not that you're limited, it's just, yeah, I'm not going to dive into that. But now I've got this room, and I've got some of my outboard gear again, and I've got room to move again, so I'm looking forward to like knuckling down and getting back into my writing process. So, because since 2016, I haven't really had the inspiration to write, because I've had no room to do it, or I can't quite get that tone I'm looking for, you know, because of the shit that I'm using. And so yeah, I sort of stepped away for a few years. It's only when I really got that drive and that inspiration to knuckle down, which, you know, in the last 3 years I've probably written maybe 4 songs.
All right.
Yeah, I completed 4 songs.
And I've done one of them.
Yes, you did. You wrote the lyrics for me. Yeah, so next year is going to be a series of releases, going through those.
When we say
years.
next year, just to clarify, because it's going to be coming out in January, so we're talking about 2021?
Yes. Yep. So this year, 2021, will be a series of releases, and I'll be going through the years of, or the periods between 2012 and now.
So just your solo stuff.
Just my solo stuff, yeah.
Right, so you're actually going to be releasing a collection of 4 separate EPs focusing on that material. So you're going to sort of, the big difference here, I guess, and it's a twist as well, is like you're laying it all online basically. Like you're going to start from the beginning of your solo career up till now, but you're not messing with it. Like you're not cleaning it up and shit. You're starting with how it sounds is how you call it. Like you're learning, you're sort of finding your feet still, and as you go through the 4 EPs, it gets where you are now, which is hopefully better than what it was when you started. But the big point is you're laying all online. Like you're not putting any effects on it. You're not re-recording anything. You don't want people to hear the polished version. You want them to hear the real version. Why? That's putting yourself out there. Why would you do that?
I'm an idiot.
Fair call.
No. Well, so the first EP, right from that very first strum of that acoustic guitar, people are going to go, "Oh, what was he doing?" You know, don't record guitars like that. Basically because, hey, I'm learning. I've never done this before. I've been in and out of studios my whole music career, but I've never actually plugged anything in or pushed any buttons or
pushed play buttons over there.
But you know, so I just want everyone to see the development from when I started up until now, the progress, and there've been a couple of life-changing events during that period, and you can clearly hear the difference. You can, you know, from one album to the next, you just go, "Oh, Jesus, what happened there?"
Yeah, what, musically or lyrically?
Both.
Both, yeah.
Both, yeah. You know, I've gone from all happy, joy to just angry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and you can clearly see it. So, I guess it's when it comes to music, you know, bands release albums and there's a bunch of songs. But why are the songs? Why all of a sudden is he singing about that and all of this time he's singing about that? It's because you don't really know what goes on in people's lives. You don't know what happens behind closed doors, you know. So here I am, starting out, green as fuck, trying to figure out how to record music and record it well. And let's face it, you're not going to record music well straight off the bat. There's going to be mistakes, there's going to be issues, there's going to be errors, you know, so I've left them all in there. I mean, the songs are listenable,
Yeah.
but they're not perfect. They sound like someone learning how to do that shit, and which is why can I name the first EP?
Yeah, go on. That's all we got our name.
So my whole theme for next year is based on licenses. So, you know, this first EP is my L plates.
Okay.
And this is what comes out of L plates. Someone learning how to record. And it sounds like someone learning how to record. Moving on a couple of years to the Red Peas. Yeah, getting a little bit better. Still got a few minor issues, but pretty much doing okay. Move forward a couple of years onto the Green Peas. Songs are getting better, but geez, they're angry. Oh fuck, I wonder what happened to him, you know. And we'll elaborate on the next interview. And then up into the Opens, which is now, where the songs are recorded well, the songs are polished. They sound a lot better than the Learners, you know. Yeah, so I'm hoping that people will listen to it and feel my journey, feel how I felt when I was recording for the first time, to how I feel now recording polished songs. Because there is a big difference between then and now, huge difference. But
Well, that's
also,
7 years, and it's a big difference in just 7 years.
yeah. But also, other people that are going out and learning and stuff like that, it's cool to fuck up. It's cool to make mistakes. You learn from your mistakes. So that's another reason why I've put it all in there and left them all in there. People make mistakes. You know?
But just to clarify, you haven't touched it up at all. Like how they are going to be on the EPs is how you finished them and left them.
Yep. Yeah, I've done. All I've done is a bit of a master on them, so that all the levels are the same.
Yeah, to make it listenable.
Yeah, because you don't want one quiet and the next one loud, and the next one's a little bit quieter, and turn up the volume, turn it down all the time. So basically, I've just levelled them and left them exactly how they are.
Like, I've known you for a long time, and you've got, unlike most musicians, you have got a heart and you've got a bit of emotion about you. Are you worried about putting those first ones out there and having people maybe go like judging you by it, or if it's sort of, it's the sort of thing that could affect something? Like it's a very brave thing to do. Like I've never heard of it before. I've never heard them put out the raw. I say shit stuff, but it's not shit. I mean, I've got shit to where they are now. It's like it's as far as I know, it's never been done before, and that's probably because people are a bit worried about what they hear back.
No one's going to release shit. No one. But for me, I don't give a fuck what people think, honestly. I never have. What have I always said? Take me for who I am or fuck off. I'm not going to change me for anyone. And, you know, if there's haters out there, there's haters. Don't fucking listen to it then. But there might be someone out there that digs it, likes it. You know, cool. Sweet. Job done. But, yeah, look, I know I'm going to get critiqued, and I know... you know, there's probably going to be a lot of bad comments and all the rest of it, but...
Are you actually going to look at the comments, or are you just not going to give a shit? Like,
I'm probably not even going to allow comments.
That's probably a smart thing to do.
Yeah, but if they've taken the time to watch this video before they listen to it, they'll understand.
Yeah.
If they just go ahead and listen to it, they're not going to know.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that I can release another video before the releases of each one, explaining pretty much what I've just explained.
We're going to be doing an interview like this before every one of them's released anyway, so that's going to get out there. But is there a rough, like say the first one, when's you got a time frame for the first one to drop?
Yes, so late February.
Late February?
Yeah.
Cool. And then it's going to be every 3 or 4 months after that?
Probably 3 months after that, yeah. So, yeah.
So until then, mate, how can people get a hold of the copies of the bandages?
Spotify. So released on my birthday, 3rd January. All the streamers.
Yeah.
All the streamers have got it. Yep.
Beautiful. All right, mate. Well, thanks for your time talking to us today. We look forward to coming with you on your journey.
Yep.
And
cool.
yeah, thanks for joining us. Much appreciated.
Thank you.